Well, what is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh. This is Native Nomads, and today we are back in the van. As you can probably tell, we are at Serg Supply right now, working through some things that we needed to make changes on for our van. I'm sorry if there's crazy noise going on behind me. There's not much I can do to control the lighting or the audio, but I'm going to do my best. Serg Supply is the sponsor of today's video. They're the sponsor of the entire van build series. And if you need anything cabinetry related for your van, the link is in the description. You can use the discount code NOMADS to save 5%, and that will help you save some money on some handmade custom cabinetry that will be shipped directly to your door ready to install. But today we're going to go over the wheel well boxes. We're going to go over the Vanspeed capsules and the trim rings. I'm going to show you the outside of the Vanspeed capsules and how they look. They look fantastic. We're going to do some upholstery. It's going to be a lot of stuff that we're getting done today. I'm thankful to have the guys at Serg Supply willing to have me out here to help with that. Let's get into making some changes in the van, and I'll talk through why we made the changes we're making and hopefully help you in your van build journey. All right, so starting on the passenger side, I want to talk you through the wheel well boxes. Our wheel well boxes may be slightly different than yours. I'm trying to set stuff out of the way here. But the reason these wheel well boxes needed to be changed were as we began to travel and we began to use them, we realized the way we originally set them up was not going to work. And I think that's normal. If you're building a van or you've built an overland vehicle in the past, then you know things sometimes need to be changed. So I'm trying to get down here to show you. So our Blue Eddy setup that we have, and we have a video on why we went with Blue Eddy, the setup that we use, all of the components. It's like a 25-minute video that walks you through everything. I will put that link up here, wherever. I'll put it in one of these corners. So you can go and watch that video specifically if you're interested in doing it that way. Well, our Blue Eddy setup took up a lot of space, and it didn't leave our wheel well boxes with, it wasn't modular enough for us. So we had Serg Supply build us new ones. These are going to be so much better because now my battery system here is fully contained in its own cubby. Then over here we have a cubby that is open that we can put a door on. We're probably going to add a little lip right here just so we can throw miscellaneous items in there, shoes, jackets, whatever. We're trying to maximize the space in our van. And I think that's the hardest thing to do when you haven't traveled in a van before, is trying to figure out exactly what you need. Sometimes you have to go through multiple iterations of something before you figure that out, and that's where we are. Also, up front here, we added a door, and in there is where our fuse box is going to go, our 1,000-watt Renogy inverter. All of that is going to be in this section with its own door. So if I need to get to it, I can get to it quickly, I can get to it easily. And then all my tools will be kind of stacked underneath there. Then this big opening right here, underneath the cubby, is just clothes bags, gear, anything else we need to do. When I travel, the garage space that I'm standing in right now, I try to keep completely free and clear, because when you slam on your brakes or you're on some bumpy trails or you're going up a steep incline, all of those bags, they slide around and it becomes a huge pain. So we've been able to kind of efficiently redo this wheel well box. Now on the rear of the wheel well box, we have a cutout for Starlink, because what we were having to do is reach into our big door that we had, open it up, grab our Starlink. It just wasn't a long-term solution for us. So we're going to have a door put here with a couple holes in it. That way we can grab our Starlink, set it out, run the wire through there. Our router and everything will be fastened inside this wheel well box, so everything will be self-contained there. Now we need to go on to the other side, because that's where we had to make a bunch of other changes, but they're all important. So we travel with water jugs. We have 3 that we're going to have back here, and we have 1 underneath the sink. Our water system is very caveman. but it works extremely well and it's extremely efficient. And I would recommend anybody who is going to be building a van, if you want to get a big 25, 30-gallon water tank, that's fine, you can do that. But at the same time, it's not absolutely necessary. It really depends on what you need. And for us, pulling these jugs out and refilling them, using them as drinking water, cleaning water, showering water, all of that is what's best for us. Now, on the old wheel well boxes, we had a huge door here that had to open up. I had to climb in there, grab my water out, tote my water up to the sink. Now we will have quick access right here. I can reach in, grab my water jug, set it down, and take it up front and put the used one back. Simple. That's what I needed. We are going to recut this end piece to close this off because right there is where I'm going to have our Julka shower system. It will be mounted right there. So I will have access to the shower system, pull out some water, put the water down, put the pump in the water bucket, it starts working. We have a hot shower whenever we need. That was something that we were lacking in the past that we will now have on board at all times. Moving towards the driver's seat, these latches. Game-changing latches because they open so easy. So inside here, we're opening this up and we have another cubby. This cubby will allow us to store small miscellaneous items, climbing harnesses, climbing shoes, bike helmets, all the things that we kind of have stuffed in our Owl Vans box in the back of the van we'll now be able to keep here. Another thing is food storage. So we have another one right here that we can now put a bunch of food in. That's very accessible. It will be underneath our bed, but we just have to reach down there, grab our food, and we can access any additional food items that we need. Now the big drawer, let me kick our old mattress out of here because we got a new mattress coming in. We have, let me open this. Okay, so now we have a huge opening right here that we can store all of our bags, all of our miscellaneous gear, and we can access it through one really big door with great latches. It's things like that that can make your van build so much more efficient. And when you're living in this thing for weeks and months at a time, you need time to figure out exactly what all these little kinks are that you have to work out. You're not going to be able to build a van on like a software platform, put everything in and say, oh, this all makes sense, and then go live in it and be like, wow, that was perfect. I've never met anybody who has built a van who has done it right the very first time and never made any changes. It's all like an evolution. So another thing that we never had in here was cabinets. We never had any cabinets on our walls. That's because we didn't want the space to feel cramped. Well, Serg Supply kind of listened to that and they came up with a new solution. That new solution is a lower profile cabinet that we will now be able to place directly over top of our galley, and we'll be able to put food, coffee stuff, all of the things that kind of add up for us because we didn't have a lot of storage. Things kind of got placed everywhere. But just these little tweaks for a small amount of money allows, it's not a small amount of money, but it's not a huge amount of money, allows us to completely redo the way we're building our van, the way we're going to live in our van. And now we should be able to have the ability to go further, longer distances, longer amount of time in a more comfortable environment. Now let's hop outside and let's talk about the Vanspeed Capsules, because these things were a big deal for us. We did not know if we were going to do them or not, but if you're looking to build your van, it's something I would consider because it gives you a little bit of extra room and some better ventilation. Okay, so here's the Vanspeed Capsules, and they got machines running in the background, so I'm sorry if it's getting loud, but we had these wrapped in a satin black, and the exposure may be a little messed up here, so I apologize, but they also have a window in them. They're wrapped in a awesome satin black. It makes the van look more commando, I guess you could say. I'm not sure if that's the way I want to put it, but what those Vanspeed capsules do is offer you the opportunity to have a window. Yes, you can cut your bunk windows. You could simply cut bunk windows into these caps or into the side of your van. Let me turn this up. You could cut your bunk windows directly into the side of your van, but you're not gaining any space, any width. Now that we are getting the Vanspeed capsules put in and the trim rings put in, this will give us additional space, additional ventilation, and it looks a lot better. Plus, we'll be able to insulate these capsules with our Havelock wool much better than we were able to insulate the walls. Now, we are going to lose a significant amount of heat and cool air out of the windows, and that's simply because it's just a piece of glass. You don't have anything there to hold in the heat or hold in the cold air, whatever you're trying to keep inside. It is going to escape faster. And that was one of my biggest reasons for not wanting to do it originally, but I really like the way it looks. I really like its functionality, and it's going to give us a little shelf for us to place our stuff on, which will also be super helpful. Now, Serg Supply cut these out for us. They don't do that. They kind of hired it out and worked with another company to cut these holes and install these capsules. They are busy building the trim rings and reupholstering our panels. Then we're going to slap this thing in. So what I'm going to do now is kind of help them get situated, and then I will show you one of these things going in and what it looks like at the finished product, because right now it's kind of not great. But Serg Supply is the only company that sells trim rings for the Vanspeed capsules. So if you have Vanspeed capsules and you want trim rings, they're the only ones that make a really well-built solution for your Vanspeed capsules, and it looks awesome. The upholstery is coming together right now, so I'm super stoked about that. Let me get over there and help them, and then I'll show you what everything looks like once we have the capsule installed and the trim ring in and everything is done. All right, so after a day's worth of work and then me recording the video, the end of the video yesterday, I didn't turn my microphone on. So I got home to edit it last night so I could have it published today, and the microphone, it wasn't on. So I had to redo all this. But that's okay, because we got some more stuff done that I think I want to show you. Originally in the video, we were talking about the cabinets. So we did get a low profile upper cabinet, and it fits so well with the ceiling kit from Serg Supply, as well as the wall panel from Serg Supply, the wall panel kit. I'm not saying that this won't fit with other kits, because it will, but you may have to make a couple little modifications to make everything work. You are going to see a small gap and a small gap back here, but that's just the way that these van pieces go together. But it is a much more low pro cabinet. It only sticks off the wall about 12 inches versus the other ones were about 16 inches. So it's a huge difference, but if you look at the space that you gain, you're gaining a ton of quality overhead space. And look, I mean, I'm gonna break the cabinet before I pull it off the wall. The other thing that we did that we were talking about is the trim ring. So the Vanspeed capsules, this side is in, obviously this side is not in yet. We're going to be doing that today, but the Vanspeed capsules have this This is a pre-finished maple. This is not the bamboo that matches my ceiling, but this is a pre-finished maple trim ring that goes right around the Vanspeed Capsules. It's all upholstered. The backing back here is upholstered. It's beautiful. And the space that I was talking about that you gained is this space right here. So it's about a hand's width. I would say about probably 6 inches, maybe 5 of space that you gain right here. That if you sleep sideways, like passenger to driver on your van, it gives you a little bit more leg room. We sleep long ways, heads at the back, feet are at the front. But we got our windows installed, which adds some extra ventilation. It's really nice. These trim rings go perfectly. Even if you just have Vanspeed kits, you can purchase these trim rings with the link in the description. Use code NOMAD, it'll save 5%. You can get these installed yourself. I did move my light up, and I will be putting my little net thing that I keep like my iPad and stuff in right over here, but everything is coming together well. Now, we did end up going with a latch on this drawer, or on this door. So originally in the beginning of the video, I didn't know if we were going to, but we ended up doing so. Then in here, I have my inverter and my fuse boxes back there, and I got room down at the bottom for my tools. This one is empty for the time being. I have to do some cleanup of my wire here. My power system, sorry if this camera's shaky. All my power is right here, and it's all contained. Everything is safe in its own little cubby. I have this additional cubby up here that we will be using for miscellaneous items. We may put a drawer or a door face on there, but I'm not sure yet. And then back here we have space for the Starlink. Look, boom. It's perfect, and it fits the Starlink absolutely perfectly. So that's it. Now I got to get back to work. We got a lot more to do in the van today. We're going to be doing some upholstery, fixing up things before we hit the road, which is going to be happening very soon in the next couple of days. So I appreciate you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, coming along for all of our adventures, and we will see you guys on the next one.